And I said something smart to him, and he raised up his waistband, and he says, "I don't think you know who you're messing with." And I raised up mine. I said, "Nah, I'm cool, boss. I'm cool." And I would say that 75 to 80% of our realtors concealed and carry. So if you want to mess with the realtor, you better not mess with the mantle agent. I'm just throwing that out there. You don't mess with the mantle agent. They are packing heat. All those little girls know how to shoot pistols.
And welcome back to the DK Podcast Show. I'm Kelton.
And I'm Dustin.
And this episode, I'm going back to school for a couple of minutes as Dustin tells me some horror stories of real estate and what I have to look forward to.
Yeah, so since Kelton's about to finish his schooling up and everything else, and he's already in it, folks. He is committed to the real estate world. Now I can go ahead and tell him the crappy stories. I've already drug him to a couple things. We've been moving some crap. He's been doing some stuff for other agents that, randomly we had to do. Like, didn't you have to do some work for Caroline a couple weeks ago, moving some junk or something like that?
I moved a couch one week for an agent, and I think the same week I went and put a lock on a building, made sure there weren't no squatters in this barn area. So yeah.
Yeah, so going with the squatter story, I used to do a lot of foreclosure work, and one of the things that we used to have to do is go and take pictures of the property. Sometimes it's just the outside, sometimes it's on the inside. And one thing I would tell you is people in the city, I'm not afraid of. People in the country, you go down somebody's driveway, you think it's a vacant home, and it ain't. They're going to be meeting you outside real fast in a hurry.
Oh, I would definitely believe it.
So, going into properties that are already boarded up and stuff like that, I'm a big dude, but it can be extremely scary. But you see people that have, they'll take a shit in a bucket, just leave the bucket sitting in there, and they're just like, you can tell somebody's sleeping in there at night, get up early in the morning, and then, they're just squatting, hanging out. You'll find everything from condom wrappers to the actual condoms to drug paraphernalia to... The funniest thing about foreclosures are you find self-help books. There's a lot of how to get rich now and how to get $5,000 from the government today. Like that dude that wears real funny glasses and does infomercials late night. Like, it is amazing how many times you see crap like that. But
well, you see what route not to take.
Well, what I'd say is there's still money. It might be dirty money, but there's a lot of people who don't want dirty money. So if it's something you're willing to do, there's not a lot of people that's willing to go jump in there and do it. And I have graduated from that now in my life, but it's still an opportunity, especially with all the foreclosures that are coming up in the market and things like that. But as a realtor, one thing you need to learn how to do is start to break into properties. You ever broke into a house?
No.
You've never broke, like, I'm not saying like breaking and entering. I'm just saying in general, like your friends left their keys, or you went to somebody's
vehicle, but like not a house.
You broke into a car?
Oh yeah.
Okay, if you break into a car, you can break into it. Can you break into a door?
I got one key and no spares, so.
Can you break into a door?
Into a door?
Like with the credit card?
Oh yeah, just slide it behind.
Yeah, I'm saying that is useful facts for a realtor to be able to do. Like if you can't push on it and jimmy a door, I learned so much in college from roommates being hammered, locking themselves in the room, and you're like, I need in, and they're like, and then you need to get in, so you just pull out an old credit card or library card. I don't know what that is, but a library card or whatever, Blockbuster card. That's how old I am. You just slide it in there and then pop it open. So it's a useful tool. I have a whole set of Jimmy, a Slim Jim and airbags in the back of my car. Yeah, so it's tools of the trade.
So why would I need to learn it when I can just call you?
Because I don't want to go do it all the time. So I got all the girl agents calling me to break lock boxes open and crap like that. So
I bet that would be a useful tool. Breaking into some lock boxes.
Yeah, well, like, they get jammed up. And so then you got to beat the piss out of it, get it off the doorknob, things like that. And, I have had the cops called on me more than once. And one time I was up in High Point, and I'm trying to get into this property. I'm supposed to be getting into this property, and next thing I know, I'm around back and I got a gun drawn on me, and it was a
Oh my
cop. Yeah,
gosh.
it was just like, well, good neighbors. They didn't want
Yeah.
nobody messing with somebody else's property and breaking in there and riffraff whatnot. But yeah, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm a realtor. Here's my pocket card. Do you want me to pull it out of my pocket? Please don't shoot me." And yeah, so I've had guns pulled on me by cops. I've had guns pulled on me by buyers, potential buyers. So it's
That's crazy.
yes, they weren't my buyers. They were somebody else's buyers. But
Why did they pull a gun on
all right. So the way a BPO, which is a broker price opinion, works is sometimes it would be for a short sale. Short sale means that you owe more money than what the property's worth. So let's just say you owe $300,000 and the house is only worth $250,000. Sometimes banks will say, "We'll take the $250,000. That way you don't have to go through the foreclosure process. We don't have to pay attorneys. We'll take the $250,000." But then they call us realtors out there to go make sure that the value of that house is really $250,000 and it's not $500,000. So I'm over there, and this, long story short, this dude pissed me off, and he said to me, and he was the one that was going to be short selling buying the property, and he let me in because he took the key. That was what he was so pissed off about, is that he was having to drive to let me in. And I said something smart to him, and he raised up his waistband, and he says, "I don't think you know who you're messing with." And I raised up mine. I said, "Nah, I'm cool, boss. I'm cool." And let's just say he did not get that property. So that was extremely early. I would say that 75 to 80% of our realtors concealed and carry. So if you want to mess with the realtor, you better not mess with the mantle agent. I'm just throwing that out there. You don't mess with the mantle agent. They are packing heat. All those little girls know how to shoot pistols. So it's a dangerous world out there, man. So realtors have a very dangerous job. There's like chicks that are getting murdered and raped and all kinds of crazy stuff, showing properties. Like, we have a whole protocol that we don't let happen. So, you being a little dude, we probably need to go over some of that stuff with you.
Trust me, I got my own protection.
Yes. So, I hope it's rubber and holds your butthole together. So,
What?
puts the Kelton in the hole and puts the lotion on. No.
What is wrong with you?
No, you don't know Buffalo Bob?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't know what you be watching.
Joe Dirt. Yeah, so that was always fun. Foreclosures were always just something special. I mean, every freaking day there was always something different that was going to be going on. So whether it was somebody telling you that they own this property and had rights to it, or just how they left it. Like, some people get so pissed off, like they'll rip out the cabinets, rip out the wires, punch holes in the walls, write "F you Bank of America" or whoever on the walls, and you got to document. Dude, people were nuts, especially back in 07, 08. Where were you at in 07, 08? Or I guess that's probably 2010. Where were you at in 2010? Elementary school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, have you ever had to trash out one of our properties yet? Like,
No.
get all the junk out of it?
Oh, yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
That one by the lake.
Oh, all the wood and crap in the back?
Yeah, they tried stealing the heater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we don't usually trash out properties for people and things like that, but sometimes we'll hire some laborers to do it for them if they can't do it, a.k.a. Kelton gets to go do stuff and make a couple bucks on the side.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So, yeah, he's gotten to take a couple loads. You did one for Caroline and had to get some wood out of the... Oh, that was Teddy. Teddy got to got the wood out of the back of behind the storage building or some crap like that. But yeah, some of them are just god awful. But see, what I think, whenever I used to buy properties, if I saw something that was completely covered in crap, that was like gold to me, because those other people that didn't want to buy it at all.
Yeah. Well, plus you don't know what's back there. Like,
oh,
there could be like a dime.
No, we can't take anything. Legally, we cannot take anything from the property. We're supposed to throw every bit of it away. Got my Christmas tree from a foreclosure. It was like a 12-foot Christmas tree. It was awesome.
Hey.
So they left it. They didn't care. I knew the owners too, so it was cool.
So, is that only foreclosures that you typically have issues with in real estate, or like, what am I looking at facing here having issues with?
Dude, everything in real estate has issues. That's why realtors get paid, is so we can solve their issues without them having problems. But it doesn't matter if it's a buyer or a seller or if it's a big property or a small property. I got the most awkward story ever on a listing the other day, and this is lately. So I went to a listing appointment, and it was a guy and his girlfriend that was about to sell a property, a very nice property, extremely nice. And I'm sitting there, and she's on speakerphone because she's at work, and talking about, I'm trying to find out, like, whenever you're going to go sell property for somebody, you want to know where they're going, what their plan is, so we can go ahead and start adjusting for that, whether it's finding them a property or finding them a realtor, or if they're moving in, finding movers, blah, 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 whatnot. And so we're sitting there, and me and the seller's hitting it off. I mean, like, just know it's a good connection and everything else. And his girlfriend gets on the phone. And I was like, so tell me a little bit more. What's your wants, needs, desires? Where you want to live at? And things like that. And she says, while she's on speakerphone, like, she knows she's talking to both of us on speakerphone. Well, we want to move to a certain area because little Jimmy is going to be going to military school, so it's not really going to matter where we live at for him and everything else. Problem with the story is, I don't know if she doesn't think that little Jimmy's sitting around there, or if she forgot that she was on speakerphone, or whatnot. You hear little Jimmy go, boom, 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 and then goes upstairs and slams his door. He was sitting in the other room listening to the whole stinking conversation. The whole conversation. So I'm sitting here as the realtor at the kitchen table of this really, really stinking nice property. And the dad was like, I gotta go handle this. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing here? What would you do?
Well, I'd probably just be like, all right, just let me know what you need.
All right, but here's the other problem. The girlfriend was still on the phone the whole time. So I'm literally having a conversation with a girl on speakerphone while her boyfriend is upstairs telling his son that you're getting shipped off to military school because you're an asshole. Yes, it was quite awkward and quite... I needed a beer after that one. Let's just go with that. So, real estate causes a lot of people to drink. So,
oh, I bet.
Luckily, I'm not a professional. So, as you can tell, I'm not a professional realtor or drinker, so I don't have to worry about it, too much. But we got the listing. But it might be like because it was a guilt trip or something. I'm not sure, but I'll take it any day of the book. But he's now my friend and everything. And little Jimmy didn't actually have to go to the military school. It worked out. It just clicked on him for him, and from what I was told, he's playing football now and playing pretty good and stuff like that. Right. So great job, little Jimmy. And but so that's the awkward kind of conversations you have. Another awkward conversation you all have with sellers is like when they don't know what they want, and they both, the buyer or the husband and wives, have two totally different.
One's telling you like one thing, the other one's
all the stinking time, and then you're like, oh God, am I here for? Is this really a separation? And you're not, and they ain't telling me because, dude, that happens a ton.
What about like marital advice? Like, are we allowed to give marital advice?
I think we should. Like I feel like I'm Dr. Phil whenever I go into a listing appointment. But
we want 3 bedrooms. No, I want 2.
Yeah, it's it can be extremely difficult, but you just gotta keep everybody's expectations where they need to stay, and know that whether you're realistic or not, and things like that. And I'm not gonna blow smoke up anybody's ass, so be like, you're not getting a 4-bedroom for $200,000 in that area, such and such. So I'm not gonna say, well, we're just gonna go look for it. No, crap's not going to happen. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to piss them off.
Yeah.
So that's would be something I tell you. It's like, just be honest with people. They're all human too. They might not know what the market is. So if you don't tell them any different, they might think that, it's feasible for them to go find a 5 bedrooms for $100,000 in Ardmore or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a lot going on that people don't realize in real estate.
It's not just hopping on Zillow.
Don't use the Z word with me. I will punch you in the
What's
mouth.
your opinion of Zillow?
Zillow has its time and place in the world. It's just not for the estimates. What do you think about the estimates?
I don't know. Well, all I've ever heard is you say they're high, so.
No, they're not always high. They're just usually wrong. If you actually look at the stats on the backside, they'll tell you that they're wrong, and they're wrong most of the time. Like most Zillows are only within like a 5% range, like
Of being right.
being right, up or down a purchase price. Like I think it's like 65% of the time in our area.
Yeah. So hire an agent.
Well, that's the reason why we said that. It's like you're gonna trust the computer to give you a number of what your house is worth. You're crazy. We usually save people money. We usually can sell somebody a property or represent a seller on a property, get them more money than what Zillow says. Sometimes they're just way off. Zillow's going by a zip code, dude. Yeah. It's not even a neighborhood. They're just going to go pull up off of a zip code. So that's how Zillow makes their pricing is they look at square footage and bedrooms and baths in a certain zip code, and everybody in that zip code gets thrown in together. Like Lexington has 2 zip codes. You can be in northern Davidson County and be using the exact same zip code as somebody in Tyro. So, it's not a good thing on that end of it. I do think they do a good job of advertising it and selling crap to realtors so they pay for their leads and stuff like that. We don't use it, but I tell you, sphere of influence is the way to go, dog. Just go love on some people. Go enjoy your people around you, and they'll enjoy you, and then they're going to give you business. That's the way life should work. That's the way it works for us. You do a great job of it. Like, loving on all these agents and going and doing stuff for them. As soon as they get a referral and they need somebody to go to BFE and sell a $50,000, $60,000 house, you're going to be their man.
Yeah.
So,
I'll take a check.
Exactly.
5% is better than none.
True. What are you most nervous about getting in real estate?
Nervous about?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not really nervous about anything because, like, I know, like, I'll get over it. It's just, like, learning everything. You know what I'm saying?
So, like learning information or learning the process?
Like, the processes of it.
Well, I can tell you this. The process changes every single stinking property. So, it might take forever. It might be immediately quick. But I would tell anybody who's in real estate, go get you a real mentor, not somebody that you have to go check in, somebody who's wanting to check in on you and somebody who's wanting to see you succeed. Yeah. Not just, hey, we're supposed to meet twice a week so I can get some of your money. Some companies have that format. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, yeah.
You pay a mentor and then...
Well, I've heard like 12 different other real estate firms speak like 4 different times, so in all the classes.
Well,
So you learn a little bit from everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Everybody's different.
And there's a place for everybody. Yeah. So some people like different stuff, and that's fine with me. I don't care. But it's I'd say be prepared for it to be slow.
Hey.
Everybody thinks it's gonna be off and running, and you're selling Sunset or whatever the hell that crap is. Bonnie watches on Bravo where they sell the $1 million listings and crap like that. We've sold $3 million properties this year.
3 $1 million properties?
Yes. Or 3 of them under contract. One's still waiting to close. But it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
So, but it can be extremely discouraging whenever you think you got a deal going down and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Dude, we have an agent in our office that her client went and opened a Tractor Supply credit card right before closing to buy a lawnmower for her house. And now it might not close because of the lawnmower.
You know, if you'd watch our videos,
They would know it by now.
Really to YouTube.
Yeah, they would know it by now. Like, we throw out those kinds of little details. Don't go buy new TV or furniture.
Go click on the Instagram. Scroll down some.
Yeah, there's a couple here and there off of it. But, yeah, I would say it's a lot more dirty. It's not suit and tie in real estate like everybody thinks it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we ought to, like, all the informational videos we have, we ought to just put them all in a file just for them to send to
their clients?
Yeah.
Nobody watches them. That's the whole problem. So.
Hey. Some people might.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
go for it.
No, not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it at all. Yeah. Are you nervous about any other parts of real estate?
No, not really. I just go with the flow, you know.
That's the scary part.
Well, it's all about hustle, man.
It is about hustle, but going with flow is usually not hustle.
Well, my going with the flow is typically a hustle.
I got you. Well, that's what I would say. That's a couple of my nightmares off of that kind of stuff, but stick with it and you'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
All right, if you ain't got anything else, I'm not going to discourage you anymore from real estate. I don't want you to run away tomorrow or anything like that.
Oh, that's all right.
I've got
back down,
I've got other stories, but I've just been holding on to them.
We got to save them.
Yeah, like you ever crawl through a window to see what the inside of a property looks like? No.
No.
You ever bought a party house? You ever evicted an
I can say I have jumped out of my windows at the house are like door size. So,
you jumped out of it? Oh, well, see, I was jumping in them.
No.
Yeah, like crawling through my big old butt, crawling through the windows to go look inside the properties. Because, like, middle of nowhere, and there wasn't no lockbox.
It don't surprise me that you got the cops called on you.
Yeah. Look at me. I look like a saint. They shouldn't. It's profiling.
Who's this guy?
It's profiling. So, well, I think that's all I got for them. I don't want to scare them too much more. We'll send you another one sooner or later. Don't forget to share our crap with everybody else that you know.
Oh, yeah. Thank y'all for watching.